Hello, everyone. This is the 13th of February. You are in the gathering, home of the Heal the Earth Initiative and the Beacon Library. Today is Tuesday, and that is Keeper of the Flying Beacon. We have Grandmother Gail Thomas with us today. Good afternoon, Gail.
Hi, Shonda. Thank you. Today's topic is about dreams. And so, with a song that came in the dream, and it's called Sweet Dreams Celigi. And I'm just going to sing it. I could play it, but I think I'm just going to sing it for you because it has a little magic in it. And of course, anybody's welcome to join me. You know, then if you, sweet lady, you know my salary, baby. Hey, 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 and there, oh, and there, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. You know that you, sweet lady, you know my salary, baby. And there, oh, and there, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Wait, oh, wait, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. How precious is that golden hour we first learned to weep. That precious golden hour we first learned to weep. You know that miss you, sweet lady. You know my salary, baby. You know so well. You know so well. You know, you know, you know so well. You know that I miss you, sweet lady. You know my salary, baby. You know, you know so well. You know so well. You know so well. You know that you, sweet lady. You know my salary, baby. And the knowing referred to is recognition. It's the way we recognize our ancestors in the dream world. This was a celebration song of ancestors, and often they'll come in do a ceremony, a celebration ceremony, and they'll circle. At least that's what mine do. Things, depending on your traditions and the back into those original he came in with in this wave of humans. It will help you recognize your ancestors, when they show up in the dream world, native people, a little better. Can you? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
hopefully. Yes, hopefully. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Not sure what that's about. But some of you witnessed, I know Lynn and Keith and Shonda witnessed when I met Alex Whiteplume. You could feel the energy of native to native recognition. And I actually, excuse me, I pulled that out of the video and I've got it ready to watch on YouTube, and I was going to share it to give you that example today. But the camera didn't catch it. It wasn't the same feeling in the video that it was live when it happened. So I would love to hear Keith and Lynn and Shonda's experience of that and see if they feel like the energy is there, but I didn't see it. And so what you think of that, but that's what happens when we're able to return to our original way, each other, and those in, and knowing that once again we can recognize each other in our original ways, and we can come together with those, feel them, and know. Also, the way that I think I've told you before, with Native ancestry, it's important that the grandmothers recognize those connections. The way we establish Native ancestry is recognition by the grandmothers. It's not DNA, it's not genealogy trees and stories from long ago, although those stories are usually legitimate. You know, they say in the DNA Project that anybody who was on this continent in the mid 1700s to mid 1800s, any of your ancestors that were here have a 50% chance of being mixed with the native people that were here. So that's showing up in the DNA, even though the DNA is trying to leave out the red race, which is the woodlands people on the East Coast. It's still showing up. But that recognition is what is so important acutely. Sometimes there's so much distraction in our regular day and in the world around us, and the ego identity focus that's just not the same as when we're asleep and the ego's asleep, and the soul brings forward that recognition because it's the soul that speaks to us in the dream time. And that is all time. The soul has access to every memory, every lifetime, every experience that we've ever had, which is also why our focus is so much on experience more than words, you know, talk and opinions and abstractions. We actually share experiences and the teachings and the original instructions that come forth in those experiences. And this is also why it's so important when we do the dream work to bring the dream from the unseen world into this seen, actually see and touch and taste and smell with our senses. And so when we work with the dreams, we do that dream and to bring it in the seen world. And also Black Elk's vision, which is the most example of Native people in dream work. He was 9 years old when he was extremely ill and had this vision for the people. And it's incredible. The images and the lessons and everything in that dream is so beautiful and so really impacted his life. And he told it to his elders and medicine people when he was well enough. And they, as a peoples, they sat with it for a very long time. And nobody knew what to do with it. They didn't know what they went into the hard times that the dream had shown with colonization, of course. And then they realized that they had to bring his dream into the seen world, into this world by the Native tradition of actually reenacting the dream. And so the whole community came together and they brought in the horses that the energies that he had seen in this vision, and they reenacted it as a whole community. And then things started to change. Then he stepped into his path, into his powers, and into his way of being in this world. But too, and any lives around him. And that's a beautiful to that vision. So the beauty that they brought when they came to him, and also by those people that he had lived them with. And so it's more than a decade before they were able to and actually bring that to of it. You can get a feel for the energies that I'm talking about. Okay, Black Elk shares about the final scene of his dream and the powers of the world that came to him after they reenacted the dream. He talked about his voice was very kind, but I shook with fear now, for I knew these were not old men, but the powers of the world. Oh, here comes Seal to get in. Oh, welcome, Yelcha. We're just talking about dreams and going over Black Elk's dream, the ending of Black Elk, and the reenactment by his peoples of the dream, and the way those powers that came to him in the dream appeared in the world after they brought their dream, his vision, his dream from the unseen world into the seen world. And so I'm just sharing his words on the end of his dream so that you can all get a feel for the messages from the dream. His voice was very kind, but I shook with fear now, for I knew that these were not old men, but the powers of the world. And the first was the power of the west, the second of the north, the third of the east, and the fourth of the south, the fifth of the sky, and the sixth of the earth. I knew this and was afraid until the first grandfather spoke again. Behold them yonder where the sun goes down, the thunder beings. You shall see and have them from them my power, and they shall take you to the high and lonely center of the earth, that you may see, even to the place where the sun continually shines. They shall take you there to understand. And as he spoke of understanding, I looked up and saw the rainbow leap with flames of many colors. Now there was a wooden cup in his hand, and it was full of water, and in the water was the sky. Take this, he said, it is the power to make live, and it is yours. Now he had a bow, and take this, he said, it is the power to destroy, and it is yours. Then he pointed to himself and said, look close at him who has your spirit now, for you are his body, and his name is Eagle Wing Stretches. And saying this, he got up very tall and started running toward where the sun goes down. And suddenly he was a black horse that stopped and turned and looked at me, very poor and sick. His ribs stood out. Then the second grandfather, he of the north, arose with an herb of power in his hand and said, take this and hurry. I took and held it toward the black horse yonder. He fattened and was happy, came prancing to his place again, and was the first grandfather sitting there. The second grandfather of the north spoke again. Take courage, young brother, he said. On earth and nation you shall make live, for yours shall be the power of the white giant's wing, cleansing wing. Then he got up very tall and started running towards the north. And when he turned toward me, it was a white goose wheeling. I looked about me now, and the horses in the west were thunders, and of the north were geese. And the second grandfather sang two songs like this. They are appearing, may you behold. They are appearing, may you behold. The thunder nation is appearing. They are appearing. May you behold. They behold. The white geese nation is appearing. Behold. And now it was the third grandfather who spoke. He of where the sun shines continually. Take courage, younger brother. Across the earth they shall take you. Then he pointed to where the daybreak star was shining, and beneath the star 2 men were flying. From them you shall have power, he said, from them who have awakened all the beings of the earth with roots and legs and wings. And as he said this, he held in his hand a peace pipe with a spotted eagle outstretched upon the stem. This eagle seemed alive, for it was poised there, fluttering, and its eyes were looking at me. Pipe, the grandfather said, you shall walk upon the earth, and whatever sickens there, you shall make well. Then he pointed to a man who was bright red all over, color of good. As he pointed, the red man lay down and rolled and changed into a bison that got up and galloped toward the sorrel horse of the east. And they too turned to bison, fat and many. And now the fourth grandfather spoke of the place where you were always facing, the south, Whence comes the power to grow? Younger brother, he said, with the powers of the four quarters, you shall walk a relative. Hold the living of a nation, I shall do, and with it many you shall save. And I saw that he was and a bright red stick that was alive. And as I looked, it sprouted at the top and sent forth branches. And on the branches, many leaves came out and murmured. And in the leaves, the birds began to sing. And then for a while, I thought I saw beneath it in the shade the circled villages of people, and every living thing with roots or legs or wings, and all were happy. It shall stand in the center, grandfather, a cane to walk with and a people's heart, and by your powers you shall make it blossom. Then when he had been still a while to hear the birds sing, he spoke again, behold the earth. So I looked down and I saw it lying yonder with a hoop of holy stick that was a tree, and where it stood there crossed two roads, a red one and a black. From where the giant lives, where you always face, the south, the red road goes, the road of good, grandfather said, and the black road goes from where the thunder beings live in the west to where the sun continually shines, the east, a fearful road. Also you shall walk. From it you shall have the power to destroy a people's foe. For a sense, you shall walk the earth power. He meant that I should see 4 generations counting me, and now I see the 3rd. Then he rose very tall and started running towards the south, and was an elk. And as he stood among the buckskins, they too were elks. Now the 5th grandson spoke, the oldest of them all, the spirit of the sky. My boy, he said, yeah, my power you shall see. He stretched his arms and turned into a spotted eagle hovering. Behold, he said, all the wings of the air shall come to you, and they and the winds and the stars shall be relatives. You shall go across the earth with my power. Then he soared above my head and fluttered there, and suddenly the sky was full of friendly wings. Now I knew the 6th grandfather was about to speak, the spirit of the earth, and I saw that he was very old, but more as men are old. His hair was long and white, his face was all in wrinkles, his eyes were deep and dim. I stared at him, for it seemed I knew him somehow. As I stared, he slowly changed, for he was growing backward into youth. And when he had become a boy, I knew that he was myself, with all the years that would be my last. When he was old again, he said, my boy, my power shall be yours, and you shall need it, for your nation on the earth will have great troubles. Come. He rose and wandered out through the rainbow door, and as I followed, I was riding on the bay horse, who had talked to me at first and led me to that place. Then the bay horse stopped and faced the black horses of the west, and a voice said, they have given you the cup of life, the greening day, and they neighed. 12 black horses came and stood beside me 4 abreast. The bay faced the sorrels of the east, and I saw that they had morning stars upon their foreheads. And their voice said, they have given you the sacred pipe and the power that stood behind me 4 abreast. My horse now faced the buckskins of the south, and a voice said, sacred stick in your nation's hoop, and the yellow day in the center of the hoop. You shall set it and make it grow in a shielding tree. 12 buckskins came and stood behind me, for I knew that now you shall walk the black road with these. And as you walk, all the nations that have roots or legs shall fear you. So I started riding toward the east down the fearful road, and behind me came the horsebacks, four abreast, the blacks, the whites, the sorrel. Far away above the fearful road, the daybreak star was rising very dim. I looked below, silent, thick light, and saw the hill gray, grasses on the hills, and all the animals everywhere about me were the cries of frightened birds and sounds of fleeing wings. Can you imagine how beautiful that enactment was? And how fearful that image, that vision in dream time must have been? And how powerful it.
Gail, I'm sorry, baby. I missed half of that. I got another call and I had to take my headphones off. But, baby, you've got an antenna skip. Pick your phone up and shake it and then put it back down. You're on your phone, right?
On my tablet.
Oh, you're on your tablet?
Uh-huh. And I
You
can
know where
shake
the
it.
antenna is on your tablet? Normally,
Yeah.
if you just slap it a couple of times, it'll realign the crystals. You got an antenna skip. You got bad video going on too. So, but anyway, repeat that last thing you said. Can you imagine? And then you cut out.
Okay, can you imagine having that vision in your dreams? And can you imagine the whole community of your people coming together to reenact a vision like that from the dream world?
Right, right.
Sit with that for a moment and realize the power that comes from the dreams, and bringing that power from the unseen world into the seen world of our senses, of this life that we have now, bringing them together, reconciling those opposites, those ultimate opposites of life and death, and this side and the other side, this world and the other worlds, the seen and the unseen. Feel the energy when we reconcile the opposites. You know it as fire and water. When you put that pot of water on the stove and it boils and it turns into steam and it totally transforms the energy that it creates when we. That is the power that we have available. That is all the powers of the directions that we heard about from his vision, and that we've heard about when we sat with the fires, the two fires that we've held so far, and the prophecies from the teachings that each direction holds and each race holds. They all tie in with vision and these energies. And those of you in Europe, the alchemists have recorded these same transformations from the dream world in alchemy. And they risked their lives to do that against the patriarchy and the Christians that were killing them because they were stealing them from the people of the land, the indigenous people. And so when this was going on, it was going on all over the earth with this wave of humans. So we all come together with our teaching. We're able to bring those powers back into this world, this visible seen world that we are in now. You recognize it when he says the grass is looked up afraid. Do you recognize that in the earth now? All the sickness that we've brought to nature with our dominion over all, with our industrial revolution. It is that connection with the soul in the dream time that holds the most hope of helping us get through these times and returning those powers from each of the directions. and allowing us to make choices that help nature return to her strength, power, and recover from the abuses that we as people have also endured. And we may be able to stay as this wave of humans if we are able to make these changes, to recognize these energies, to recognize each other, those of us that are here for nature. It's us, it's our actions, it's returning to verb-based languages and verb-based actions from the heart that hold the best hope for us being able to stay in this wave of humans. Otherwise, the earth can recover much more without us if we don't make those changes.
Yeah, that's the message coming from the mother right now.
Exactly, it's coming from everywhere, and we have to bring it into every single choice we make. So we're open for questions and sharing experiences. I have brought from the unseen world and recognized your ancestors, recognize the energies and the powers that are available from the soul, and hear some of you share your experiences, the images or anything that's not your experiences of the dream time, an image from the unseen world into the we're in right now. So if anybody has questions, I'm welcoming them and also welcoming experiences that you may have had similar to Black Elk's vision and his dream and the reenactment that
Would
we
you
heard
like,
about.
would you like me to say what I felt when I saw you and I've forgotten his name now.
Alex White Plume. Yeah, I'd
Sorry.
love you to share that. Lynn.
Just
Thank you.
such a beautiful person. He really was quite different. And when I saw Gail and sorry,
Alex,
that's it, Alex together, it was just as if there was a deep connection and natural understanding that never dies. It was beautiful. The synchronicity that I witnessed, and I was witness to, it was as if you were both connected long ago and meant to network now. Excuse me. He was that lovely, he has that lovely infectious laugh that Chief Phil has as
Right.
well.
Right. Yeah.
And then Gail and I talked on Messenger, I've sent her that message, and Gail said, could I share it when we did this evening? And I said, yes, that it will be good as connection via natural recognition may help us all as we go forward into a new unpredictable planet, which may stretch any resilience we may already have. And yes, it was just lovely to see you both together. So thank you.
it was
So are you
recognition.
talking about on the symposium?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Felix
okay.
Santos. Did you notice? Shonda, did you notice it?
Yes, I most certainly did. I
Mhm.
told you right after. That's
Yeah.
why I brought you up and introduced you to him. I mean,
Mhm.
I saw it before it ever happened.
Mhm. Mhm.
By the way, Grandfather Alex has agreed to be one of our fire keepers as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
really sweet. Yeah. And
Mhm.
it's an energy. It is the quantum energy.
Oh.
And it is recognition. Recognition and words.
Mm.
There's no linear logical, I mean, you can say this is happening and that's relationship and experience that comes about, and we'll all be able to watch it and see. And then we'll have the full experience of our recognition coming into reenactment or physical reality or whatever it turns out to be. But it's really hard to put into words, and I can give you the link to the video, but you won't see it the way we felt it when we were in the room. I was actually really encouraged that we feel it over Zoom like that, even though
Yeah.
it's not captured on the recording. It was very, very prominent on the Zoom
Yeah,
experience.
I felt as if I was sitting with you. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's everything's frequency and vibration.
Yeah.
And you know, the elevation was the elevation of consciousness right now.
Mm.
The power of intent is being magnified.
Mm.
And when you put that group intent of common gold, the humanitarian factor, you put that together with the same people in the room. I mean, it's you can just feel it circling in the room. You can feel the energy just spiraling around, you know, and it's a beautiful feeling. And I love what we're doing here in this little convergence room. I love the energy that is being birthed here. We are midwifing some very important things in this room, and it's we're blessed that we have each other.
Yes.
Yes. So
Well, any final comments? We're fixing to close down our Beacon Library for the day. Any more comments for Grandmother Gail?
Thank you for this evening, Gail. Mm.
oh,
Mari,
Gail,
come on in.
Gail, hi. Hi, everyone. I would love to see that video because I didn't witness what you are talking about, and I would love to see it. So can you
Okay.
send me the link?
I'd be happy to, yeah, but it doesn't show up in the recording the way it did in the live gathering. But I'll send
Yeah.
it to you. Yeah, I'm happy to
Oh,
send
okay. And I'm so sorry I missed half of it today, but this is an
Right.
amazing gathering. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Oh,
coming. Yeah, sure.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll switch my sound off because I'm coughing all the time.
Oh,
Okay.
hello. It's nice to have you here, Grandmother. Hey, Gail, did you cut that section out? Did you do an excerpt
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah.
Why don't you drop me the link and I'll play it and get it part of the recording. You want to do that?
I can do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Molly, do you want to say something? Somebody else was speaking. I'm not sure who it was. But go ahead and speak, whoever it was, while I'm
It was
grabbing
Molly,
that.
wasn't it? Come on in, Molly.
So I'll share, and I'll just share a few bits that I brought over from the dream world into this reality. So one of them was moon-like dream catcher.
Ah, beautiful.
This all came through the work that I've done with Gail over the last 2 years, working with the dream world and this beautiful teaching of bringing, like the black elk speak,
Mm-hmm.
bringing the dreams into reality. And this is what it really is making a really magic for me. And it feels, it took me to the different level of really feeling, living the dream and being connected so much to the dream. So this is another little ornament that I made from the dream, and then I carry the energy into this reality. And actually, it can go on, and I could do this full time, making things. It is very, very precious, and you can't put any value on this. Something like this, it's kind of goes beyond. So yeah, I'm so ever so grateful. Thank you, Gail, and thank you, Shonda, and all for holding this space where these conversations can be possible. We need more of these kind of spaces. It feels like in this society, we were not really told how to dream or how to work with the dreams whatsoever. And it's such a big important part of our lives. So thank you. Great.
Thank you, Amy, thank you. Okay, let's all go back to gallery view really quick.
Thank you, Molly. Yeah, Molly worked so hard in the dream world, and so has Yelcha. They've both done beautiful work. And Lynn's done some too. You know, and I'm happy to work with anybody here who's want to work. And Shonda, when you look at those 3 links, it'll be the shortest one, and you'll see Grandfather Alex. You'll recognize which one it is.
Okay, hang on, because right now I hear Michael talk. I opened all 3 links and Michael's talking in the background. I go find him and shut him up. Okay, there we go. It's like all of a sudden I'm hearing Earth stock overpowering everything. So.
Multitasking.
Yeah, I opened all 3 links and they all started talking at the same time. And I had to, well, wait a minute, what happened? What did they do? Okay, so anyway, let me get all the let me get all the spotlights down. Let me get
Yeah, what
everybody's
you'll see
spotlight
is
down.
our traditional way of meeting and greeting each other, which is with our water and our land and our peoples acknowledged. Land acknowledgement, water acknowledgement, and people's acknowledgement joining. And when we do that, we call in those spirits of the river, of the land, the mountain, and of the peoples, the ancestors. I don't think you'll feel it the way we felt it when we were there, but just the opportunity for us to come together again safely in those ways is truly incredible. And that's what those of you who were there, I think, could feel. And yeah, I'm fascinated to see what happens, to see what comes of that recognition and that energy that Shonda helped us stir up by bringing us all together.
That I I am one of many grandmother spiders. It's why my spiritual name is She Who Weaves. That is my gift is seeing the energy and connecting those energies. Okay, let's go into share screen, find this. Can you guys see the screen?
No.
Just the screen.
On our platform. Grandmother, come on in and introduce yourself, please.
I can't see it. I can hear it, but I
Shonda.
can't see it.
Ligia Quisque, dancing here and dances with Dad, call Miguel, in Mayumi Ganaita, a river basin of the Long Man, whose head is on our sacred mountain and his feet are in the sea. I live on our sacred mountain Aragu, which means helping many people. And we are the people who resisted both removal on the Trail of Tears and the reservation the federal government calls Cherokee.
Right.
We resisted by hiding in these mountains with our native plants. The federal troops came in and killed all the animals,
Right.
thinking they would starve us out, but we knew the plant medicine, and we are still here.
Oh.
So I'm so happy to see many of us in this gathering, honoring the plants in this way. Thank you so much.
Oh. In Lakota, our description for all the plant life, we call them the standing silent nation. And they have their own language through the wind, but they're standing silent. And the roots of all plants are connected around the world. And so when you say something, the plants hear you, your message goes out all over the world. So you have to be kind and make sure you don't make no lies or say something negative, because it's going to go out around the world. The roots were here before internet.
Yeah. We are the roots of the internet, and we have those skills. We still have those gifts that we carry, you know, in so many ways. I've held traditional Lakota ceremony on this sacred mountain at my home for, gosh, almost 15 years or more. So
Mhm.
we've had over 500 ceremonies, and I have songs that come to me in the
Yeah.
dream time in Lakota
Mhm.
ceremony language.
Yeah.
So I feel very connected and very kin
There's a
with
big
all of
difference. Uh-huh. There's a big difference amongst the nations. You had 500 years of
Shonda
contact,
anytime.
your Cherokee peoples, and I don't call them people, I say peoples that represents the nation. And then you come further this way, there's 400 years of contact, and then 300 years of contact. And most of those were totally run over, killed, died through disease. And the ones that survived were assimilated through the boarding school and military era. And the Lakota this year, we had 232 years of contact. And we survived. Our language, our ceremonies, our rituals are real. They're still here. And many people from the East and West Coast come to the reservation here and they stay with us to learn our ceremonies and go through them. And we always offer them, go on a vision quest. You might take 2-3 years, but keep doing it and you'll regain your song, you'll gain your original ceremonies. Don't just practice Lakota ceremonies just because we're good looking. No, I'm just teasing you. But we want that, we want to share that. And we realize that today. And I always encourage each nation, each individual member of a tribe to stand for the treaty that was violated. They violated, and I don't think they have any intentions of ever honoring them. But I would like to gather us all up and make friends with all our allies, and especially the non-Indians. And they got to have morals. There should be sadness. A lot of people go to church on Sunday, they dress up nice and come out smiling, when they should come out of that church with tears in their eyes, with the genocide of ridiculous proportions that they committed against us in this country. And we have to get over that, but we have to do it together with everybody involved. It can't be just us. And so I go and I educate people on that. And plus we have such beautiful ceremonies. People come here and they just leave here just happy with spirituality instead of a religion. And so I don't want to create any negative connotation towards religion, but if I was a white guy, I'd like to be a religious person, because then the man gets to be the boss. They own the woman, they're chattel, and they're second, and that's the white man way. And my wife, I told her, I said, let's be Christian so I could boss you around, and she always got mad at me, you know. But
Thank you, Shonda.
Right. His laugh is amazing. His
Yeah.
laugh is amazing. Oh, he's so beautiful. Okay. And everyone breathe once again.
Let's sing our gratitude before we close out, if we're ready to close out, or does anybody have anything else they want to share before we stop the recording?
No, just to say, everybody who saw that just now, Gail and Alex were sitting opposite each other. So it was lovely to watch them. That's why it was such an amazing energy.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
can't see it, can you? You
No,
didn't,
no.
you didn't, no, it
Just so
can't
they
be
just-
captured.
Just so they can imagine, what it was like. It's lovely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, any questions before we sing our gratitude and close out?
Nope, sing us out, top of the hour.
Okay, here we go. With me, Shonda, anybody?
Gail, you got original sound on? No, we're still not picking you up. What is up with your eye today? Have you got storms over there, baby, or what?
It's the world energy, isn't it? I think.
Oh, we can't even hear you talking now. We lost it, Gail. Oh no. You are totally mutable now.
Mm.
You're so mutable.
John, that's a gratitude song.
Okay, little by little, you're cracking up. You're coming back in. Keep going. Keep talking.
On the phone.
You're underwater. Keep going. It'll clear up. Keep feeding it. Late night. Mothers and sisters, is shock passion. Water is life. Well, though, take that paddle and slap your iPad with it. Drum on that phone a little bit. Oh man. Oh, okay. Yes, we're done here. And as tradition in the gathering, when we close out our recordings, we say thank you to the energy in the room. Thank you, Grandmother Gal.
Thank you, yeah.
Blessings.